Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Seal. I'm most honored and humbled to be receiving this prestigious award. I want to begin by thanking those who nominated me and the Edmonton's own Medical Staff Association for conferring this award upon me. To be quite honest, when I first saw the message in my inbox, I thought it was a spam message that had escaped the spam filter. But I was quite overwhelmed when I found out that it was real. Words like this, they come to a person, but really we don't function as individuals, we function as teams. And this was really driven home to me by a recent visit by a friend, Roland, who's also an anesthesiologist and like me interested in motorsports, who came to visit me at the OR in the Mazankowski this last spring to see how we do our pediatric cardiac surgery. And his take-home observation was just how fantastic that group all functioned as a team in the OR. Therefore, I want to thank all the team that I've worked with in both in the ORs and the out-of-OR locations, and what the great colleagues I've had over the years. Also have to look back in time and thank my mentors, of whom I've had many, spanning the time from my internship through residency and through my 35-year career. Also have to thank my wife, Dr. Joan Robinson, for her constant support and her tolerance for all of the endeavors I've spent time in. I've been very fortunate that being a pediatric anesthesiologist and a pediatric cardiac anesthesiologist has actually been more fun than having a real job. Certainly it has its challenges, but it is a very enjoyable way to spend one's career. As well, and outside of the actual clinical work, I've always loved building things. It started as a child with building models and building Lego, but I like building projects and undertakings and working with great people, and been fortunate in my career to see such change happened at the University of Alberta Hospital and its transition to having the Stollery Children's Hospital, Great Western Canadian Pediatric Cardiac Surgical Program, and the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute. Also was allowed to exercise its growth in the Canadian Anesthesiology Society and the Canadian Pediatric Anesthesia Society, and then further express my creativity in my motorsports endeavors. I have great confidence in the future. As an anecdote, I had one day in the OR where I looked around and realized that every other individual that was working in the OR that day, I'd known them since their mothers were carrying them, and I remember them as babies. So I think we're leaving the future in good hands with them. Two of my own babies followed me into medicine. One's a family physician in the city, and the other one was one of our anesthesia residents, and she'll be coming back to work at the Mazankowski. Speaking of residents, really one of my big loves has been clinical teaching for residents and fellows, and I think the love for that grew and increased as my career went on. I want to conclude by congratulating my fellow award recipients, and thank you again for this great honor.